Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to create an AI assistant using VoiceFlow. Whether you are a business owner or a developer, I'm going to show you step by step on how to get this assistant to answer customers' inquiries, answer pricing, and any information about your business. It's going to help your customers get 24/7 access to your customer support. It'll free up all the time for you to not have to complete all the repetitive tasks and leave you time to do more high impact work for your business. So first off, let's go to VoiceFlow.com. Once you're there, you can go ahead and sign in or sign up if you haven't created an account yet. Once you go through the sign up process, it'll ask you to verify your email. Go and verify your email to get started. Once you sign in into VoiceFlow, it'll give you a couple of tutorials. Go ahead and watch them if you'd like. And you can also access the starter project and go through it. Okay, by the time I'm creating this video, they just come out with this new feature called workflows, which I'll have to spend more time to dive deep into. This is interesting. Anyways, go through this if you'd like, and they even have videos embedded in here so that you can learn it better. This is really helpful, so I recommend going through this. To get started, you can either go from scratch or you can copy from one of their templates. Just go ahead and create a new assistant. Tutorial demo. Modality, you can either pick chat or voice. We're just gonna do chat for now. Language is English. You can see how they support a lot of languages, which is great. Pick English, create assistant. Sweet, so even as you get started, they already sort of have like a template for you. You can test run it by clicking up here, run test. Before creating the AI assistant, you can write down all the questions that the customers could possibly ask you. For example, what services do you offer? How much does a service cost? Do you have examples of the previous work you've done? Things like that. Say we can use an example of a construction company, for example. This is a construction company that helped me with my home, so I'm just going to use their website as an example. So for example, if you want to have an AI assistant with a floating circle right here, so let me show you how the end result is going to look like. When you start new chat, it's going to welcome you to the website. It'll ask you, it'll give you like an introduction of what the company kind of does and how can I help you today. And you will see there's a couple of buttons where services, how you can book a discovery call. There's an FAQ section and there's pricing. And say you can click on services and it'll show you the different services that we offer. For now, we're just doing AI assistant for now, but there will be further services in the future. And if you just ask a random questions like, how does the workflow look like? It takes a while, but it'll like show you the step-by-step of how the workflow is going to look like when you sign up for a service from our website, from UltimaStudio. Step 1, step 2, step 3. So it'll look like this. And this is coming from the knowledge base. So I will show you how to do all this today. So you can go back here and kind of modify. Let's do from scratch, okay? So we can move this out of the way so we can create our own. This is their workflow, so we're just going to drag this down here to create our own. First of all, let's create a greeting. So we can go to talk. We can either greet by hard text or we can greet with AI. Let's use response AI, okay? And we can do, I just put construction in the parentheses to distinguish it from the template that they provided us. Greet the user. Use one emoji for fun. So we can hit preview and see how it comes out with this. Hello, how can I assist you today? All right, that looks good. Now we need to connect this to this so that it knows that this is where we want to go. And the flow, it won't touch the template up here. All right, so we're gonna test out our first ever flow by hitting run. Run test to see what it says. Hello, how can I assist you today? And the conversation ended. This is a terrible UX experience, so we're gonna add more stuff to this. Now you can go back here and add a text block to introduce the company. And say, we're gonna go to the website and then see if there's any information that we can use here. So just copy this text. Okay, you can generate like 5 variants. It'll look like this, and if you would do Control Enter, it'll submit all of them. Let's go to create buttons, or you can go to, let's see, listen buttons. Listen is like when you are waiting for users' input, and buttons is like a form of users' input. So you can drag buttons down here and put in different options for buttons such as services, pricing, previous work. Let's try to run this to see how it looks like right now. Awesome. So now we got like 3 different buttons. When you click on it, it doesn't do anything yet because we haven't done anything to it yet. All right. So now let's make this flow more interesting by, you can drag it here and then let it do, let's use a text block for this one. Okay, and this one is going to be named services. All right, so now we want to say something like, we can add this block of text just to kind of introduce what the company does or what services they offer. And then below here, so what we can do is we can add Carousel. It's just basically a set of cards. Okay, so cards can have images, title, and text, and buttons where you can link it to something else. You can either upload your image or link it, or home remodel it. And add some text here. You can add buttons. Action can be going to open an URL, and you can paste the URL of the service in here like this. So now whenever you hit this, and then we can add more card, and the same would go to other services if you want to add. So let's hit run and test this out, see how it looks like. Okay, so if we click on services, you can see how this is a little bit bad because this image is bigger than this image. So obviously we're gonna have to fix this and make it look nicer. Okay, and when you click on learn more, it'll direct you to this website. For pricing, you won't have like a hard set pricing for construction, right? So what you can do is just add a block of text that says that you can contact their email to book them an appointment. I can create another tutorial to show you how to let the users enter a form and book an appointment for you via Calendly or other platforms. Leave in the comments below if you want to have a tutorial like that. But for now, I'm just going to show you the basics. Okay, so for pricing, we can add another block of text that says you can contact us for more information on pricing. I just put this in quote for now, but obviously you can add your own in here. Let's go and test something. So we got obviously we got the buttons, the options, but what if the user asks like, what services do you offer? Okay, so it's saying NLU, no matching intents. What is intent? Intents are basically the intention of the user. The user can ask in multiple different ways, but what is their intent? So you can specify that so that it doesn't do this. This is obviously a very bad UX experience, right? So if you go back to the buttons and you see services, you can attach intent. Okay, so create new intent. Let's say services. Okay, let's say the user wants to know more about services. So what services do you offer? Okay, then you can generate like 10 samples. So basically what it's doing here is it generates different ways that the user can ask or show the intention of them wanting to know more about the services. Okay, so once you kind of see that this is green, you're like, okay, this is pretty good, a good amount of variations. So you create that intent. Now let's go back and run this to see what it does. So since whenever you add intent or you add knowledge base, which I will show you in a moment, you will have to retrain the AI assistant. All right, now that it's trained and everything, let's ask. You see how like the greetings are like different every time, which is really cool. Can you tell me the services? See, now it doesn't just like end the conversation like right there anymore. So the UX is a little bit better now. All right, now let's go ahead and add intent for the rest of them. Okay, so you can see that in the template, they provide an option to end the conversation, which, I mean, when you go to here, there's already an option for you to end the conversation by clicking close and chat, and that's how it ends. And you can start new chat like that. So I think this is for demonstration purpose, and it's kind of unnecessary. So in the buttons, what if the user asks a question that doesn't match with any of the option? So there's a no match option. You can either just leave that no match option be and not direct anything here, or you can specifically direct the user to a flow, such as how they did it here in the template. So if the user asks a question that doesn't match with any of the option, then it'll respond with an AI response. But this is a chat assistant for a company, right? So the users might want to know more about other information regarding the company, right? So this is where the knowledge base comes in. Let me give you an example of a question that doesn't match any of the option that we provide. Like the question doesn't even match with the intent. So say, how long does the project takes? So it says, sorry, I didn't get that. Please try again. That's obviously kind of bad, right? So let's add that to our knowledge base. So when you go here, so there's different ways you can add knowledge. You can either add as plain text, URL. URL will be really fast, but if you go to VoiceFlow tutorials, they will recommend you to add knowledge base as plain text, because that way you can really control the accuracy of the answer. Say the user wants to know more about how long does a process usually take. There is no answer on their website about that, so we can add plain text. Okay. We can add a very simple text that talks about the length of the projects depends on the complexity of the work. Import. Okay. So now what we can do to test is we can do preview. So how long does it take? Awesome. So now it'll answer you with this. All right. Let's go back to our workflow. Okay, and let's run again. So like I mentioned earlier, if you add intents or new knowledge base, you will have to retrain the assistant so it is most up to date. Okay, now so you can run test. All right, let me ask this: how long does the project take? Awesome. So now you can see how like the knowledge base appears on the AI assistant. You can see how it says KB fallback. So that's knowledge base fallback. So whenever it sees that there's no matching options for the options you provide, it'll go back to the knowledge base. And I find that this is the most user-friendly way of doing this, at least for my case. This is pretty much like the gist or the basics of how you can get started with building an AI assistant on VoiceFlow. Of course, VoiceFlow, it offers so much more. It can help connect with external services such as Zendesk for submitting tickets, or it can reach Calendly link for you to book appointment. I think VoiceFlow is pretty awesome. So now, before publishing this, you can go to integrations and you can edit the appearance of how it looks like. So eventually it'll look like these pop-up chat by VoiceFlow themselves, or something like this. You can also use their API to embed it onto your own website as well if you'd like. Alright, so you can change color to a pink color. Upload your own icon. You can upload your own icon, or you can upload image for your assistant right here. And once you publish, you can use this piece of code and embed it onto your website. It's really straightforward. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial video. Please give me feedback on how I can do better tutorial, other topics you would like to see more in the future. Bye, and see you next time.